This week, the long-awaited independent counsel report from special counsel John Durham was released. And it confirmed what most of us already knew, that the FBI and the Department of Justice went out of their way to abuse the law in their determined attempt to prevent Donald Trump from being elected president in 2016, and then to have him discredited, criminally charged, impeached, and removed from office. The relentless attacks on the rule of law should make every patriotic American want to throw up. The people need to trust the most enforcing the law. But we need to trust the people to do it evenly, fairly, and with a blind indifference to politics. But the fact is they were conspiring to prevent an election they didn't want, and when that failed, they tried to overthrow an election they didn't agree with. Let that sink in. After you voted, instead of respecting the results of an election that they knew to be fair, they used every means possible, most of them illegal, to overturn your vote. I want to know why these so-called law enforcement officers and high-level officials at the Justice Department aren't the real insurrectionists, aren't they? Where is Liz Cheney? I kind of wonder why Liz Cheney isn't riding in on her self-righteous high horse with Cowboy Kinzinger at her side, carrying the water for actual justice like they tried to carry it for Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi's posse and lynch mob, who violated every last strand of decency, even to the point of twice impeaching a president because they didn't have the votes to simply defeat him. I'll say again that anyone who broke the law and vandalized the Capitol or sought to injure a police officer on January 6th, oh, look, they should face charges. I've said this I don't know how many times. But we saw a lot of people arrested, shackled, placed in jail for months without a trial, and who had their lives ruined, who didn't even go inside the Capitol. We've had some on this show whose stories are mortifying. People like Brandon Struck, who was even placed on the no-fly list until he was eventually let off with a minor misdemeanor charge of simply being in Washington that day. But do not forget this big difference between those who went to the Capitol January 6th and who have been called insurrectionists and those revealed in the Durham report. The people who showed up on January 6th, well, they paid their own way to get to D.C. and most genuinely believed that they were carrying out their constitutional right to protest. Some of them went overboard. They committed crimes, and they're paying for it. But the federal thugs who sought to destroy Donald Trump and try to overturn the election, they didn't pay their own way. They used your money to do their dirty work. It wasn't their money that paid for Robert Mueller's $37 million witch hunt or the unknown millions of your tax dollars that was used to conspire with Democrat operatives in creating phony documents created to get illegal search warrants and cause dozens of Trump associates to be bankrupted by legal fees. They used the people's money, which was supposed to go after real criminals. Instead, these government-paid goons became criminals in the worst betrayal of the law in U.S. history. But here's the question. Will James Comey, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, James Brennan, Jim Clapper, James Baker, Andy McCabe, or their ilk have their homes raided, their property seized? Will they get frog marched across their lawns by SWAT teams at 5 a.m. and then go to trial and be held accountable for what they did to lead this insurrection? Probably not. And that makes me angry. Seething mad, in fact, because it tells me that there really is a two-tier justice system at work in this country. One for the insiders, the elites, the deep staters, the career government bureaucrats. And then there's another for the rest of us. And there's one more outrage in all of this. The media has proved to truly be the enemy of the people because they didn't just fail to report the truth. They actively helped hide it, distort it, and outright lie about it. And we can't trust them. We need an honest and objective press. We really do. But they have destroyed whatever credibility they may have had, and they may have helped destroy a country in doing it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will now. The button is just below this video, and there's a little bell next to it. If you click on those, YouTube will reluctantly start letting you know when we've got a new video uploaded.